The glass atrium of Apex Global was a monument to modern power, filled with white marble and towering digital displays. Dante, a man of quiet but absolute authority, stood near the reception desk. He was dressed in a sharp black tailored suit with a vibrant yellow silk tie, checking his gold luxury watch as he waited for his scheduled orientation. Miller, the hiring manager known for his old-school biases, stepped out of the elevator. He wore a bold red blazer that screamed for attention. Beside him was Luna, his secretary, clutching a stack of red folders and looking at Dante with a curled lip. Miller's face contorted into a realistic, unmasked expression of aggressive rage the moment he saw Dante. He hadn't bothered to check the high-level HR briefings. He only saw a man who didn't look like executive material to him. His nostrils flared, and a pulsing vein began to throb in his neck as he marched across the marble floor. "I told the agency we aren't hiring for security or maintenance today. Why are you still standing in my lobby?" Miller barked. "I'm not here for maintenance, Miller. I'm here for the 9 a.m. transition meeting." Dante replied, his voice a calm, lethal black frequency. He stepped back defensively as Miller invaded his personal space. Miller's aggression turned physical instantly. He lunged forward and delivered a heavy-handed, aggressive shove to Dante's chest, slamming him back against the white marble reception desk. "You're here because you're lost," Miller snarled, his face showing anatomical micro-expressions of fury, his brow furrowed into deep ridges and his eyes widening in anger. In a display of unchecked arrogance, Miller grabbed Dante's physical resume and violently ripped it into pieces, throwing the scraps into Dante's face. Miller then grabbed Dante by the lapel of his black suit jacket and pinned him against the desk, while Luna laughed, recording the eviction on her phone. The witnesses, Sterling and Maya, stood by the elevators, their phones raised to capture the raw, unmasked fury on Miller's face as he physically manhandled the man. "Get out before I have the real security drag you to the curb," Miller hissed, his nostrils flaring. Dante looked at the shredded paper on the floor, then at the digital board behind Miller. "Miller," he whispered, "you should have looked at the new board chair announcement on the screen behind you. Your career just ended." The air in the Apex Global atrium turned ice cold as Miller maintained his physical pin, his fingers white-knuckled as he twisted the black wool lapel of Dante's suit, shoving him hard against the white marble reception desk. Miller's unmasked face was a mask of pure aggressive rage. The veins in his neck pulsed with a violent rhythmic throb, and his nostrils flared with every jagged, adrenaline-fueled breath he took. Luna stood by, her bold red-trimmed dress a sharp contrast to the sterile environment, as she smirked and tapped her foot, waiting for the intruder to be humiliated. "You don't belong in this building, let alone this lobby," Miller hissed, his face contorted with anatomical micro-expressions of fury, his brow furrowed into deep ridges and his eyes widening in anger until the whites showed completely. "I am the gatekeeper of this firm, and I'm making the executive decision to throw you out myself." He leaned in further, his chest heaving against Dante's, exerting his physical dominance. Dante didn't move a muscle to struggle. He slowly reached up with his left hand, the gold luxury watch on his wrist catching the harsh overhead LED lights. With a calm, deliberate motion, he pulled a black leather folder from his inner pocket. Not a resume, but a gold stamp appointment charter. He tapped his yellow case smartphone, sending a global command to the building's internal security system. "Miller," Dante said, his voice dropping into a low, lethal black frequency that seemed to vibrate the marble desk beneath them. "The gate you're keeping just hit a wall. I'm not here for a job. I'm here for the deed." Suddenly, the massive 50-foot digital display behind the reception desk, which had been looping stock prices, flickered to life with a bold, extreme close-up video of the current interaction. The entire corporate headquarters, from the subterranean labs to the penthouse suites, watched in horrified silence as Miller's snarling face and aggressive shove were broadcast in 8K resolution. Above the video, a single line of text appeared in bright yellow. "Welcome our new chairman of the board, Dante Thorne." Miller's grip on the black lapel went limp. His face turned a sickly, translucent shade of white as he looked up at the screen and saw his own career being dismantled in real time. The mottled red patches on his skin faded into a hollow, trembling mass of terror as the realization hit. He had just physically assaulted the man who technically owned his desk, his chair, and his future. The elevators hissed open, and a phalanx of high-level board members and private security, in deep Navy tactical gear with yellow, board detail, lettering swarmed the lobby. Sterling in his gold silk blazer and Maya in her silver designer dress moved forward, their phones capturing the raw, unmasked terror on Miller's face as the corporate world watched his liquidation. "Miller and Luna," the chief operating officer announced, his voice echoing through the atrium like a gavel. "By unanimous vote of the board, which was finalized 10 minutes ago, your employment is terminated effective immediately. Your access codes have been purged, and your personal assets within this company are being frozen pending an assault investigation." Dante straightened his black tailored suit, adjusting his yellow silk tie with a slow, methodical grace. He stepped into Miller's personal space, his gold watch gleaming. "You told me I was lost. Miller, the truth is, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. But you're officially a trespasser in my lobby." Miller, in a state of aggressive panic, tried to stammer out an apology, reaching out to touch Dante's arm in a desperate plea. He was instantly intercepted. Two security officers firmly grabbed Miller by his arms, twisting him behind his back in a brutal, bone-deep lock. They forced him to his knees on the very scraps of the paper he had just shredded. Luna was grabbed by her bold red trim gear and forced down beside him. "Liquidate their status," Dante commanded. The security team ripped the bold red blazer from Miller's shoulders, leaving him in his sweat-stained white shirt, and snatched the red folders from Luna's hands. They physically dragged Miller and Luna through the center of the lobby, their shoes squeaking on the white marble as the entire staff gathered on the balconies to jeer and film the disgrace. They were dragged out the revolving doors and dumped onto the sidewalk in front of a line of waiting news cameras. Dante looked at the chief operating officer. "Clear this debris," he said, gesturing to the shredded paper, "and send a memo to every manager in this firm. The gate is now open to anyone with talent, but for bullies, the door is permanently locked." He checked his gold watch. "Now, I believe we have a board meeting to attend." The power was destroyed, the truth was revealed, and the villain was liquidated.